Okay, well, I see this works, so that's good. It's 6:30, so I'm going to start the program with a welcome to you all. We appreciate you coming to this program. I know it'll be interesting, featuring our students. We do that every so often. We've done it before on China. Actually, this is the third program on Bulgaria that we've had in the last 5 years. I looked it up. There's so many people to thank, but I want to thank Dr. Smedra for his role in organizing the trip to Bulgaria this May semester. We had 10 students participate. And it's just keeping with our objective, cultural awareness and cultural sensitivity. We've been having these programs since 1981. In fact, the first one was February 18th, 1981, over in Rony 301. It was on major developments in Asia, Central America, and the Middle East. So that began this emphasis on third world studies, and we've had approximately 150 seminars since, in a 33-year period. And this was as this brochure indicates, the seedbed for the founding of the Association of Third World Studies here, 1983. And we're going to have our 32nd annual meeting in Denver, Colorado, October 16th to 18th. So it's just 3 weeks away. And we've met all over the world. So that's good for Georgia Southwestern because we hosted the first 4 conferences and we co-hosted the rest of them. We also publish a journal, Third World Studies. But I'm not going to spend much more time. This is really great that we have the Windows to the World. It's a Windows to the World event. That just started here. And we're going to continue that for every seminar we have. So students will be able to fulfill the requirements for the 6 seminars or 6 activities, during their careers. And but now I want to turn the program over to our new. We have a new. In fact, she's the first director of international programs. So, Dr. Sarah Spear. And I'm glad she's here to coordinate all the different activities that are going on, and she's already had a good start with that. There's going to be a study abroad program in December. She'll talk more about it and the rest, but I think it shows that we're really trying to emphasize international studies. And so I welcome her, and I wish her a lot of luck. I'll try to provide any assistance I can to, here she is, Dr. Sarah.
Thank you, and we look forward we're happy to see you all here tonight, and it should be a great program. The students are excited to share their experiences with you. I'm going to pass around an attendance list for those of you who are part of University 1000 or our first-year students. You can get credit for Windows to the World, and there's an assessment link on here. In order to get credit, you have to go to this link and complete the form. We're still working on the technology process, and we welcome anybody else who would like to complete this survey on this program. That would be great as well. So I'm going to pass that around, and also just let you know that following the program, we'll have refreshments out in the lobby and an opportunity for you all to speak more with the students who went and with the faculty who taught last summer. So you're welcome to meet them in person, and if you have any more questions, because there will be a program this summer in Bulgaria. And so we'd love to encourage you to apply for the next summer's program. So with that, let me introduce Dr. Smedra, Professor of Economics, who led the program this past June.
Thanks, Dr. Spear, and thank you all of you for coming. There'll be a sign-up sheet for my students after the presentations down here at the front. There'll also be a sign-up sheet for Bulgaria 2015. If this inspires you today to go with us next summer session, then we really would like you to leave your name and email address, and we'll put you on the list to receive newsletters that I put out periodically to kind of get you hyped up about going to Bulgaria or study abroad in general. We'll have another program that we're tentatively calling International 4000, which is a service learning program during the spring, and Dr. Yordnov will be leading that. He's up here, one of our Bulgarian faculty members also that was on the Bulgaria trip. So we have 8 students, although there are 10 people listed. The 2 people from Rochester, Minnesota couldn't make it. And so it's just eight of you that will be presenting, and I'm excited to watch and hear what students have to say. And first off, we have Miss Jessica Recker from Plains, which is just down the road. The clicker. Yeah.
This is one of the first stops that we made, and we were all completely jet-lagged. This is the Rila Monastery. I know a lot of the other students that went before, they went there, and they thought it was a good idea for us to go again. And it was really awesome. It was absolutely beautiful. It was really high up in the mountains. It's not working. Okay. This was a hole in the ground, and we came up through it, but there's a cave where the founder of the Rila Monastery basically lived. And down in there was a picture of him with basically prayers and stuff from other people that went through it. The thing with the sinner's hole was that if you could fit through the hole and you can make it all the way through, then you were cleansed of all your sins. And it was kind of it wasn't planned, but Dr. Yordnov kept talking about it, and I was like, yeah, let's go. Until I realized that it was a bit of a hike, and I wasn't wearing the proper shoes. But it was really fun and interesting to experience. And this was right down the road from our university. The best restaurant that we went to, and we went there multiple times. It was like a little family-owned restaurant, and the people were so nice, and they understood the fact that we didn't speak Bulgarian at all. And so they were really patient with us and helped us out. And it is the best food I've ever eaten in my life. And I took the travel writing class, and we had to do many journaling activities, and we had to write 2 papers while we were there and everything. And I wrote an entire paper over this restaurant. Like, it was just an awesome experience with the locals trying to help us out with ordering food and stuff. And this is my 2 favorite foods that I had. To the right is the biscuit cake, and it is literally the best dessert you have ever eaten in your entire life. Everywhere I would go, I would look on the menus and see if they had biscuit cake, and if they did, then I would order it every single time. To the left is schnitzel, and it was absolutely amazing. And everywhere you go, they always had different kind of salads and stuff, and with that is my favorite kind. But the food there was absolutely amazing, and a lot lighter than American food. It didn't feel as heavy and greasy. And this was at the Roman amphitheater, and it was just so cool to experience something so old. And of course, there were a bunch of tourists and stuff there, and the professors were telling us that there's a lot of graffiti in the area, and they had to close it down just to clean it up because there's just so much on it. But thankfully, it was clean when we saw it, and it was just really cool. We got to get on the stage and everything. Took some really awesome pictures there. And this is my roommate, Valerie. One of the cool experiences is, like, going into the trip, I didn't know a single person going, but Valerie and I got pretty close and hung out a lot, and as did all the rest of us. But it's just really cool going into it kind of blind, and then coming out getting to know your peers better and as well as your professors better. This is overlooking a city that we just kind of like climbed up to the rock, and it was really awesome. Speaking of climbing, this is Shipka Mountain, and it is by far the most beautiful and crazy thing I've ever experienced in my life. It was a little over 900 steps, I think, and not like literal steps. You don't just get to walk up a slope. It was stressful, to say the least. But once we got up there, it was absolutely breathtaking. And that's just some more pictures. To the left, you can see that's nearly not all the steps at all. But, I mean, just like a little chunk of them. And this is some of the graffiti I was talking about. And it doesn't, like, Americans think that graffiti kind of like dirties up something, but there it's art, and it's beautiful art. So we were walking past this street every day, and one day I looked at Valerie and Jordan, and I was like, that wasn't here yesterday. So it happens overnight like that, and it's something as beautiful as this that you just have to notice. And that's some more of it. This was actually in Greece. And then during our class, we had it in the mornings, and we would go out and we would journal in the beginning just about our days, our experiences and things. And then for class, we would go out and just explore the city and then, have something else to write about. And these were some really odd and cool statues that we came across. And it was just so different, something that you wouldn't see every day. And now, Mr. Weiner will come.
Hello! Sorry, speaking about graffiti, I did the everyday art of Bulgaria, and it was a pretty amazing thing. I was walking down the pedestrian walkway, and that's actually a functioning water fountain for anyone to use. I'm guessing it's a sheep vase statue thingy. I don't know, the water was delicious. And I was just amazed that they have little functionalities of art that anyone can even drink out of. I'm a glass blower. I love to blow bubbles in hot liquid glass, but these guys, or this guy in particular, is actually pretty amazing. We have a setup like this in GSW for more advanced students. It's a simple butane torch and a tweezer. And here he is twisting the flower. And I believe Miss Megan Dolan actually got the flower that he created. But it was really cool seeing how different artists across the world can still create. I love the graffiti there. Just walking down the street, you can see different pictures, outlines. This one, I do not know the artist, I do not know the titles, so I just kind of made my own. Remembering your roots, I'm guessing it's crusading warriors that might have occupied there, but it turned a simple electrical box into something nice to stare at when you walk around town. And I like to tie in meetings to the art that I saw. Like this one, I thought it was a perfect example of living with nature and in perfect harmony with it, and not to mess it up like we do in America and just pave over it. And there's just awesome graffiti everywhere you looked. This one I call the Beast in the East, because it's an awesome looking dragon and some really mean people just tagged right over the body of it, which I thought was cruel. Like, why cover up somebody's art with your terrible signature? Everywhere we went, there is outdoor cafes, and every cafe had an ashtray, so there was a big smoking problem in Bulgaria, which I didn't mind, but here in America, smoking's bad, and now that we have a tobacco-free campus, there's no ashtrays anywhere. See this, I really like this picture because I thought the lady resembled Bulgaria with the gems and priceless minerals that it possessed, and the nature in the background was just marvelous. This was just neat to look at, walking around town. Just the different colors, how they made the pipes on the walls work perfectly with the spray paint that they did. It was just a really nice sight. And these were just everyday corridors and streets walking around town that you can stop and appreciate whenever you wanted. This I really like. It looks creepy, but I named it the European Union because it looks like a nice typical birdhouse until you land on it and you get caught in the clutches. But enough about politics. This, however, was not in Bulgaria, and so my slideshow lied a little bit. This was some sand art we found on this awesome an awesome beach in Thasos, which is an island in the Aegean Sea of Greece. I thought it was cool how even on the beach, the people still created stuff and nice little sculptures to look at, even when they're relaxing on the day of the beach. This, however, this was in the middle or out to the side of a street. It was just this giant gold statue looking down at traffic going by. I thought it was really nice. They have a wonderful way of tying history and art together perfectly. Like this statue here, this was, I got it written down, Rosalynn. Probably butchered that title. He actually started the whole revolution in Sofia. And I guess he was the first martyr. He got axed in the face. So that's why there's this big scar running down his cheek. And he was the first martyr, or a big battle cry for the people of Bulgaria. And if you remember Jessica's picture of them looking over the city, this was the statue standing in the background, just a giant stone warrior looking over the valley. Another example of how history and art kind of go hand in hand with all the people. They really like church in Bulgaria. There were so many monasteries and cathedrals we went to. And this was one in Greece of a beautiful mural painted on the side of a wall of a story I'm not particularly know of. Well, it looks nice. This giant cross shone every night in Blagoevgard. It was very, very tall. I forgot the number of feet. But it was just standing on the side of a mountain, just shining every night over the city, giving people faith and light and something to look at. This was a picture in the hotel we stayed at Sofia, our last night there. I really like the meaning of this. Well, you have the other tribesmen dancing around the fire. We have the lone person staring out at the lights in the sky, wondering what's out there, instead of going with the norms. This was the lion, or a better picture of the lion in the little, fortress on top of the 1,000 steps. That was a really tall climb, but the view was amazing up there. This was a monument of Assens. I did not get a really good picture of it, but if you look closely right here, at a certain viewpoint at the bottom of the steps, the paint actually makes a perfect diamond on the steps. So the creativity of the artists were phenomenal. Just making ordinary steps something to look at. So Bulgaria, the land of red houses in the mountains. Beautiful place, beautiful people, beautiful art. And that's all I got. Please welcome Mr. Shu.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, everybody. And I'm Haolang Xu. I'm from China, Beijing, and I'm really glad I can join this program. This summer, I get a unique and special experience in Bulgaria. Just like everybody said, those photos took from Bulgaria, they have a really beautiful view. They have a beautiful mountain. They have the lake. I remember it's a 7 lake there. And I'm an international student, so for me, the first time I arrived in Bulgaria, it's just like the first time I arrived in America. Everything for me is new, and I'm really glad I can meet a lot of friendly people, both in Bulgaria and America, and they help me a lot. And when I saw those trees, I remember it's the 2012 as first time I arrived in America, and when I saw from the airplane, I saw the tree. It's the first view I saw in America. It's a tree, and this is the hotel we live in Bulgaria. The first weekend I remember, and everything is amazing. It's a mountain we go. You go to the top and you can saw the 7 lakes. Because our visa has some problems, so we stay in Sofia totally almost 1 week, and we try to get the Greece or Schengen visa, so we can go with everybody. We'll go with the group. So I have a lot of time staying in Sofia and enjoy in there. The last day I stayed at Sofia, and I know the thing is, the hotel we live, the back is the president hall. So I'm really happy I can share the building with their president. And also in Sofia, the different thing is people work a lot than America. You can say it's a group, our group for the kind of groups for the, and also in the Bulgaria they like eat outside, not like in America people also eat inside. But the problem is if people eat outside, and the reason I think it's because they like smoke. They like smoking, so they stay outside. For me, I love to stay outside, enjoy the beautiful view and the weather, but I don't like smoking. This is a university we stayed called American University in Georgia. Bulgaria. It's a big university, and this is a building for kind of like a student success center. We have every day morning we have breakfast here, and I can tell everybody compare GSW cafeteria. Their breakfast is just so boring. And for me, like I took a biology class in there, and what's really interesting is only one student in Dr. Tu's class. So I just think I can't imagine in GSW there has a class, regular class. Only have one student in there. It's like you have a lot of time to talk with your professor, not only about focus the textbook about your course. It's talk about share your opinion and your professor's opinion. It's a really unique experience. And just like I said, people love it outside, and they have a really good outside view. Also, because I'm studying the exercise science and the wellness major, and I took biology class, so I want to talk about something can link with my major, and it's a nutrition, just like American people, they love eat meat, French fries, everything, but the one thing is totally different is in their you can sell the soda, their soft drink, everything. They only sell like one can to you, or they only sell can or bottle soft drink, not like American unlimited refill. So they can control like how many calories you can get every day from the drink. And also they eat a lot of seafood. I don't know. I only stay in Georgia. I just think in Georgia people they don't eat a lot of seafood, but seafood is really good for your healthy. Also, they have a homemade lemonade. It's made of a real lemon, not just like American something mixed together. Also, they eat a lot of vegetables. They eat meat, but they're old, so they eat a lot of vegetables than American. They love cheese. Every meal they put cheese in, a lot of cheese in my meal. So, but I love cheese too. Just like show you this salad and everything, cheese, everything. This breakfast when we went to it's a small town, yeah, and they prepare the breakfast. You can see they have the yogurt, and their yogurt is really good. This I can see this. It's the best yogurt in this world. And also it's called in Bulgaria they call some bacteria to make yogurt. We call it Bulgarian bacteria to make yogurt. It's the key to make the yogurt. Okay, thank you, everybody. Welcome, Michael. Mr. What's his name?
Alright, I'm Michael Waxman. That's what this slide is. Alright, this is the cityscape of Plovdiv. We've had a few photos of it before, but this is just a cityscape of Plovdiv. This is Plovdiv. This is the Roman theater from the stage. I think we had another photo. I think it was Jessica's where she was on the ledge, but this is a panoramic from the stage. So that's cool. It is very large. This is the Greek beach. I believe someone had an art photo of a turtle on it. So this is the beach that we stayed. And we had to drive, didn't we? A long ways. We had to drive to the other side of the island for it. This is a sunset that I took. I think I took it from my hotel window, my hotel back, but no. I took it from a dock kind of thing. And now we get to the real lakes. So this is on the way up on the ski lift. We were on it. This is I think a river. I think we're gonna see it again too at the end. So, but this is a river on the way up. That's fed from the lakes. And then here is a photo of where we're gonna be walking up. So let's see here. All the way up here. We have the photo going up, and we're walking over there, I believe. And then this is a photo from the hill. So we have one lake here, we have 2, 3, and then over here we have, I think, 4 and 5, and 6 or 7 are not even close. Here's the first lake. There's a little house here, and then we have the lake, and then, this is the first lake on the left. So this is cool. And then right up here, feeds into, there it is again. It's cool. It goes all the way up here. And these lakes are made from glaciers, and this is what's remnant of the glacier. So that's kind of cool. So if we go back to this slide, this is ice. It's not stone or anything, it's ice. So it's very cold too. Let's see here. We have this little delta kind of thing here, which I thought was cool. And then we have this lake, which is that lake closer up. So there's a house to the left, right over here, off picture. And then it's being fed. And then we have the far lake on the first picture that you could see barely. And then here's this, how it glows. And then we have a photo, once you get over that hill in the very beginning, we have a photo, you go down some, and then we have a picture. So over the hill. And this is another picture from a different angle. So I think you turn left. I think it's to your left. And here's a mountain. I believe there's a lake down here. And then there's a lake over here, which we'll get to right here. Here's one of the lakes that we could actually very get close and touch if we really wanted to. So we have, I think, Danny and Megan right there. And that was cool. That we could actually go up to one and really touch it instead of just seeing it from a distance. So that was cool. And it was cold. The water was cold. And then we have a waterfall right up here. And then, if you can see it, right here's a pathway to the other 2 lakes that we didn't go to. But it's cool. And then I have another picture of it. So it starts up here and goes all the way down. And down. And this right here is off the top of the hill. On the way back, I believe, I took it. And you could see some city, but I don't think you can really see it that well right here. There's a city right here. And then down the ski lift that we went on, which was really cool, I thought. And that is my slideshow. Any questions about how we walked? Anything about the geography? How far we went? What was it, 1 kilometer? It was 3? It was 3 kilometers? 5. So 2.5. Any questions? No?
A question, Michael. That little house that you showed near the lake, was anyone living there, or was it like a shelter?
I believe it's a shelter. I don't think anyone lives in any of the. You mean that house?
Yeah.
Or this one? This one. Yeah, I don't think anyone lives in them.
So when it rains and the weather's bad, people hide in there?
I think so because there was a path over here. Yeah, there's a path up here to this lake. Any questions? No? Present Miss Wynn.
Dobro den, everybody, which means good day, or I can say dobro veche, which means good evening. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my adventure in Bulgaria. As you don't know, Bulgaria is known for its roses, and there's actually a valley of them, and they have a festival every year for the roses. And why they're so big and why they're such like a big thing there is because they actually extract the oils from the roses to turn it into like pharmaceutical things like headaches or tired eyes, and to make you smell good. Bulgaria is also known for its many religions because they didn't become I guess technically a free nation till 1991. So they have various religions. They have Jews, Roman Catholics, Orthodox Muslims, and just Protestants. This is one of my favorite churches that we got to see. It's called Shipka Memorial Church. It's Orthodox, and it was dedicated to the Russians that died for the liberation of Bulgaria in 1878 during the Russian-Turkish War. This was probably my favorite city we visited. It was the first one we went there. And Plovdiv, it's known for its fine arts because they have many art schools there. They have glass blowing, as Jordan talked about, and a lot of just beautiful things. Up top is part of Plovdiv from one of the 7 hills we went to. They actually only have 6 now. Fun fact. And on the bottom is in Plovdiv, like inside the city, and they actually found this theater while just digging up random things. And probably my least favorite thing about Plovdiv was the cobblestones. I felt like I was going to break my ankle on them whenever we walked around. And another great thing about all of Bulgaria, there's pedestrian roads in the big cities. Wherever you are, the pedestrian roads, they're not allowed cars at all, so you can feel safe crossing the street. And actually, I forgot to tell you something else. Fun fact about Plovdiv, it's also the second biggest city in Bulgaria, and it's one of the world's oldest cities, or it's one of the. All right, a lot of people have talked about Shipka and the pass to the peak, which was 900 steps. And right to the far left of you guys is the starting point, and you can see the 190, so we did make it all the way top. And you can see the best part was we got to see the sun setting and the magnificent view of all the mountains. This is one of the cities we went to one weekend, and this is as Jordan has said, this is Monument of Assens, which was dedicated to the leaders during a political and economic peak. And if you can see to the far left, this was also, I think, in Newtown, part of Tarnava. And here, I didn't take a picture or didn't put one on here, but there was actually a band playing. And there's a lot of young folks like us there, hanging out, hacky sacks, and having a good time. This is one of the places we went to, the fort, and we actually went up this the day after we went up 900 steps, and there were more steps to this, and honestly my calves were killing me. And Jordan talked about the graffiti, and it was really awesome. They had a bunch of them in turnover. Here, everywhere in Bulgaria, they kept their traditions and they also modernized everything. And they're proud people, and especially what they accomplished. Thasos, this is Thasos, and everybody's a tourist there, even Bulgarians. And as you can see, this has a lovely sunset and just good views. But anywhere you went, they all helped you out with anything. And here they spoke English, so we could get around easily. This is the place we stayed, Blagoevgard, my bad. And this was actually in the dorm we stayed at. This was in the staircase that I got to go walk down every morning and see this beautiful view. That's the cross that Jordan had on his slideshow. While you're in Bulgaria, and if you go study abroad, you always make family when you're away from your own family, and it was nice. Because you definitely will miss your family while you're gone, if you're gone for a whole month. And in the dorm, there was a sign posted in the lobby that said, 5 or more equals a party. So we had parties every day, basically. Here is the student center that Shu showed you. And to the bottom left is the cafe, kind of like Java City, that we ate every morning at. And I actually liked the breakfast, so I guess to each his own. And I was one of the people that went to the gym there, tried it out. It was all right. I kind of like ours better, not gonna lie. But there, they also skip leg day. Yeah, just saying. And Jessica also told you guys about the family business we went to. And there, the mother actually cooked all the food because she worked in a school cafeteria for many years. And then her husband was a cashier businessman, I guess you can call him. And then their son and their daughter-in-law were the waiters. We went to 2 wineries. One was traditional. Here we were inside the cave, basically testing things. And they served it with cheese and I think some meat, maybe. And the wine is very dry, so I didn't like any of it at all. And I think the wineries were in Melnik. This is a modern one. As you can see, they actually store, when they crush up the grapes, they store it in metal bins, and then they transfer it to a wooden barrel. And then they have like modern technology to bottle their wines. The last place we went to was Sofia, and we stayed there for a little bit. And like I said, that they kept all their traditions, and they built around everything, all the old. And Sofia is the biggest city in Bulgaria. It's the capital. and most people spoke English there. If you didn't know who to talk to, you just go for the younger people. And also, while we were in Bulgaria, the World Cup was going on. Woo. Yeah, and it didn't matter who was like winning or losing. You could just hear a crowd cheering on the team, and it was pretty cool. It just felt like everything was unified there. And this is kind of a sad photo. This is our dorm room. We just got finished packing everything up, and I took a picture just to say farewell. And this is when they packed up the bus, and everybody was saying bye to like some of the friends we made while we were there. And this is the last sunset or sunrise. All right, and that's the end of my presentation. Please welcome the next speaker. He's going to talk about how to woo a Bulgarian woman. This is Danny Thasos.
Hello, I'm Mural and we had a great time in Bulgaria. We took a lot of road trips. Traveling was really tough. We stayed in the van for a long time. Sometimes we slept through it. The longest trip was, I believe it was the Greece trip. Was it? I'm not sure. Every single trip was long. Anyways, okay, the road trips were fun. We talked about a lot of things in the trip, in the van. I tried to switch seats with a lot of people so I would get to know everyone from the trip, so I wouldn't know just one person from the entire trip. Dr. Kostov, and I talked about a lot of stuff, music, art. I was sketching stuff. I was just going through things. And we saw a lot of, in the road trips, we saw a lot of solar panels. Bulgaria does use a lot of electricity, and 2013 they started putting at least 10% tax on electricity, renewable electricity, or wind power and solar power. So you'll see a lot of solar panels in Bulgaria and Greece. So it's a nice picture of while we were going in the van, we saw mountains, a lot of mountains. It's blurry, a bit blurry. This is Shipka Memorial. I think it's a memorial for the Russia-Turk war, and it's 1,000 steps. It was really tough on several people. It took me a while to get there. When you get to the end, you get a nice scenery like this one. That's the Shipka Pass, I guess. And my class was environmental science with Dr. Yurnap. We talked about from everything from biology, geology, to business, economics. And we took field trips to several places. One of it was the Rila Lakes. The other one was just random. This was in Blagoevgard. We were trying to get to see that cross. You might have seen that picture before. This is just the walk up. So we had to walk a lot, just from our class, up the mountains. Crazy views. This is a zoo. I didn't like the zoo. I felt like it wasn't maintained very well, but It was sitting on top of the city. You could see the city below, and this was a bear. Two bears were in there. This one was just climbing up and standing there, looking over the city, I guess. City is, as you can see in the background. I don't know if you could see it or not. Never mind. All right. The reason for us to go to the zoo was to see this. This is a shanty town, gypsy shanty town. It was a field trip, part of our class. Dr. Ernaf took us there to look at this tiny little segregated place. Going up the zoo, I mean, he was very protective of us. I mean, he just didn't want us to get robbed by gypsies. I mean, we didn't see that many gypsies. It was just one or two people. He was just very protective. That, I don't know if you can see it or not. Right there. That's a tassel. That tassel is tied up to a budding tree. I don't know if it's March or May. Well, around the time when the spring rolls up, people tie it to a budding tree as soon as they see a budding tree or a stroke or a swallow bird. And it signifies spring. And this was near the Sinner's Hole. And there was a lot of these tassels. That's Dr. Yordnov. That cliff where he's standing right there, that's where they threw off prisoners in the old times. He was just checking it out. And yeah, I don't know. He was having a bad time. I mean, we all did have a great time, but he himself, as a professor, he was having a rough time. I don't know why. He was just stressful. There, throwing out a peace sign. I'm done, I guess. We were traveling, I don't know where, but we were supposed to eat out in a restaurant, but what had happened was, yes, this nice businessman, I think his business was a lumberyard, and he invited us over for lunch. And we went in there. He had a nice garden, as you could see. And Dr. Yurnov's family, his mother and his father came over. And it was pretty nice. I got to meet them and his kids, 2 kids. Pretty decent lunch. You got fried meat, bit of drinking. I mean, it's Bulgaria. Come on. This is at the Greek-Bulgarian border. I was sitting in the, where was that? Yeah, in the van, in the yellow van. And we were kind of stuck because Shu and Shao had a bit of an issue with crossing the border, and they finally resolved it. And it was taking a bit longer than for them to figure out things, and we were just waiting for the officials to say to go ahead to get into Greek, so we could go see our nice Thasos island in Greek, one of the Greek islands. And that's Thasos. It's a pretty island. This is a picture from the ferry. And when you are riding the ferry, I mean, I have rode several ferries, but this one, for the first time, I saw birds just traveling with us while we were traveling to Thasos. That was a nice experience. I never had that before. Yeah. While in Bulgaria and when I got to Greece, I took early morning walks. I still do right now, too. This is on a Saturday, because when we travel to cities, usually on the weekends. because our classes are Monday through Thursday, and weekends are the best time to travel, I guess. And in the morning, I was just walking along. I saw the city from my back, and I took this picture. And we were coming back from Thasos. We got to the mainland. This was Kavala, Greece. We just visited another castle. I think it's a Byzantine castle. And Martin was there, as you can see. He was tired. Yeah, I mean, to a kid like him, a lot of walking doesn't mean happiness. It means groaning. I mean, even to adults, I guess. This is in the Real mountain range. It's a nice picture of the range. One of the advice I would give to you guys would travel as soon as you can, because you will, some of the places in the world are just disappearing, as you know. Global warming is one of the issues, like the Maldives, and you got the rising sea level and stuff. So travel as much as you can, as soon as you can. So save up a bit. This is the last week in Blagoevgard. We had a show. I mean, not. We were having dinner, and we heard music, and I was curious to see what it was all about, and we just went in there, and they had a show on for the people, and they were collecting funds for I think it was flooding. There were a few rainy days, and people lost their lives and property, I guess. See right there. You can see that. That's a fun box, I guess. And people are putting money in. I think these were people from all over the town, or maybe all over Bulgaria. I'm not sure. It was near the last days in Blagoevgard. Our dinners, we ate out most of the times, and this was a restaurant that was in front of our college, and we went there near the end, but not like when we got to Blagoevgard. But there was a kitten that just crawled up to Miss Recker, and we were just playing with it and smiling about the crazy cuddly little thing. I got to go see an opera. I stayed up for it. I knew it was happening. The reason why not all the students got to go was the ticket got expensive. So Dr. Smedra didn't want to go to the opera, so he gave me his ticket. I bought it from him, and we were sitting somewhere there, right there, somewhere. It's blurry. The seats were terrible. It was. I don't know how many hours, but I think probably around more than 3 hours. It was a pretty good production. A lot of people showed up, as you could see. It was a major production, that's what I heard. And this was a picture from the opera. I'm guessing that's the king and his son. That is the name of the opera, Boris Godunov. It was nice. I mean, the orchestra was amazing, and there were no glitches or anything. It went perfectly. But sitting out there, it was getting chillier every hour. I wish I brought a jacket. It was out in the open in front of Alexander Nevsky, St. Alexander Nevsky Cathedral. And I think they were celebrating something. Was it christening or, sorry, not a christening. some 90 years or 900 years, I'm not sure. But yeah, I was near the end. And last days in Sofia, that's Dr. DePaula, if you guys didn't know yet. We had a dinner and we were just walking by. Dr. DePaula just went a bit crazy and photobombed my picture. And that is it. Thank you. And up next will be Mr. Shao.
Good evening. My name is Zhong Xiao. I come from China. Now I'm pursuing my master's degree in GSW. Since they have showed so many pictures about the environment and food and people of Bulgaria, so I have chosen to tell you some reasons why what I got in this program and why I recommend you to be one of us. The first, organizers. This is Dr. Smadra. Usually you can't see smiles on his face, but if you see it, it's your lucky day. This is TZ. We call him TZ because at first we don't know how to pronounce his last name, Dr. Yunov. And this is Dr. Kostov, and his son Martin. He's very cute. And on the right, he is a top administrator of the building where we lived. And the left, he is our driver. He is very funny. These three words are what I conclude for our leaders. The first experience. They experienced because this is not the first time they organized this program. And before we left for Bulgaria, we have had several meetings discussing what we should care about, such as clothes, weather, food, what clothes we should carry with. And each of us was given a big folder, which included our phone number and hotel information, and even a list of some common Bulgarian. So you don't need to worry about anything. You just follow the steps and enjoy the trip. And the second is professional. They're professional because Dr. Kostov and Dr. Yunov, they are all Bulgarians. They know the place you are going to is where they were born and grew up. So they are familiar with that. And they have friends in Bulgaria. And the driver, he had experience because he was doing his business for a long time. I won't say he knows all the story of each stone on the street, but I can say he will drive you to anywhere you need at the top speed. And keep you safe, of course. And the last one, responsible. Han has told you the experience that we applied the visa of Greece. And I want to tell you more what I thought at that moment. After we told them we hadn't the visa of Greece, and the staff, Dr. Smadra, Dr. Kostov, Dr. Yunov, they said immediately that they would help us to get the visa. We were surprised because, and I just consider it as polite remarks, because I thought it was impossible for two foreigners to apply a visa of Greece in Bulgaria within only 2 weeks. Furthermore, in my country, if you go to a travel agency and register for traveling abroad, and in the end you can't get there because you don't get the visa, the travel agency will not give the money back, and they will tell you it's your own mistake and it's your own responsibility to get the visa. So this is why Haha and I we were very thankful to them after we get the visa eventually. So I believe the doctors, they will do the same to you if you join this program. This is the picture we took a visit to Dr. Yunov's friend's home, and they invited us to have lunch. This is their singing. The soundbox was made in China, and I taught them how to use it. It's Valerie. And the second one is friendship. Actually, this part I made especially for international students who sit here, because this is what I got from this trip. And I want to tell you, what do we want in America? We want make friends with American students, and we can improve our English through the communications. We can learn American culture, and we can try a totally different lifestyle. That's why we are here. But sometimes we have difficulties being involved in American students for some reasons. And someone don't have any American friends. I think it has a bad impact on their study and life. And maybe someone has some American friends, but they just met in a party, or they only had a nodding acquaintance. So this is not true friend. So how to solve it? I was confused too until I took part in this program. But to be frank, the reason why I took part in this program was my parents didn't allow me to go back home, and they don't allow me to stay at home. So I had to find something interesting and meaningful. So, but now my choice is proven right. And during the program, I had a deep conversation with others, and I got a better understanding of American thoughts, how their thought and their culture, and this is totally different from what I experience from now. So you will not understand me until you join this program, and you have to experience by yourself. And in the end, I want to show you some pictures. This is the basement of our dormitory. This is during the World Cup. We were taking a bet, and this was in a restaurant. And here are some pictures, including me and all of us. And this is the puzzle we made together.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. This is Dr. Yunov's son and Dr. Costa's son. Thank you very much. And let's welcome our last one, Megan.
as you said, my name is Megan. And what I got most out of this trip was I focused on the history and the natural beauty of things. Now, several people have mentioned several of the things in my slides already, so I won't belabor those points. But I do feel the need to draw attention to certain things. Like going through Sofia, which is a very modern city, yeah, all the trappings of life you would think. And you just walk down the street and you can find things like the Church of St. George, which has been there since Roman times. It's over 1,000 years old, just sitting there, open day. And it's an example of the kind of history that you cannot get around here. There's history around here, there's history in America, but not the kind of variety that you can get in Bulgaria. Since there's been Romans there, the Turks, everything. People have shown you the amphitheater. This is exactly that. I cannot get this to show it, but I am standing on the stage. It's a very amazing sight to see in person. You see things like this on History Channel and magazines all the time, but to actually be able to walk down the steps and stand there where actors, speakers spoke, it's quite a different experience than just seeing it in pictures. Here in the city of Velika Trnovo, you can't really tell from this picture, but really we walked right down the street to get to a fortress that's been there from the Middle Ages. It's several hundred years old and just right there by this flourishing city. And what specifically I liked about this is the cathedral inside of it, where you'll see these kinds of depictions, this kind of artwork. And it was different from a lot of the other artwork that we saw inside churches. The colors were darker, the style was different. It seemed a little more realistic than some of the other pictures. In just the types of scenes that were depicted, varied from just scenes from biblical stories. There were biblical story pictures, but other things as well. And it was very interesting to see. Again, these are the steps at Shipka. People have shown you pictures of this, but while I very much enjoyed going up all 1,000 steps to the top, also what touched me was just how green everything was around these steps. Again, I didn't have a very good picture to showcase this, but going up, it is just forest around you until you get around the top where you have the man-made part of it. It's, again, like something you would see in a magazine, but so much better because you're actually there, you can reach out and touch it. And of course, it's just a lovely little walk up there. You're seeing this exact picture just to showcase the beauty that is the Rila Lakes, and just standing there, the wind in your face, trying to steal your hat. It is amazing. Again, you've seen this exact picture before. I won't belabor this one. Just a picture of going down, just again to showcase the trees and really kind of to give you a sense of how high up we were. It was a good little ride up there, and we still had hiking to do once we got done. It's as high as I've ever been up, outside an airplane, and wonderful views. This is around the Sinner's Hole, which has been mentioned before, but again, just to showcase how forested this area is, right alongside the church. It's just kept green. A lot of things you would see where there are areas just completely untouched. This one for, I'm sure, religious purposes. To give you an idea of what it's like inside that hole, we had to use our iPods as light, or iPhones, or whatever we had on us, because it was pitch black in there. Without that, we probably would not have been able to see to climb up there. Lots of headbanging if we hadn't done that. I'm not exactly sure who this is going up, but it is almost near impossible to see in there. And this is a picture of the people who left. These are the icons, the pictures, the candles that were lit by the people who were there offering prayers, and just sort of to add some
sense of how significant this place really is to people who go there. Here is a picture of the city of Melnik. This is where we went and did some wine tasting. And really, I think this picture kind of showcases, you have the city down below where people live and the winery is, the background where it is just green, mountains, a lot untouched. And then you have the history right there. This place is, again, several hundred years old, and it's just sitting there overlooking the city, immersed in the modern life that is going on around it. I mean, in the US, again, we have history and things, but you do not get the variety that you can get there. This, I believe, is, yes, medieval. We don't have things that's sold from this kind of time period. Okay. I would highly encourage anybody to go here or to travel in general, just to get some sense of what is out there in the world, and it's worth seeing. It really is. You cannot see it just from pictures. You don't get that sense. It may cost a little bit, but it's worth it in the end. Thank you, and now Dr. Smedra.
So that's the end of our formal presentation. If anybody has any questions for the students, again, we're doing a Bulgaria trip in 2015, the first summer session. I have a sign-up sheet up here in the front. If you would like information, please put your name on the sheet, and we'll get information out to you soon. Yep, and Dr. Isaacs will have the last word here.
We're going to have another seminar on Ukraine, crisis in Ukraine, on October 28th, it's Tuesday, and it'll be in this facility here.
Did everybody hear that?
So, yeah, October 28th on Ukraine. It's going to feature Dr. Smedra and Dr. Richard Paul.
Right.
Experts on the country and the region. I got sign-up sheets I passed around in the form of 2 legal pads, so I appreciate if you put your name on them, so we'll know who's here this evening. And thank you very much for attending.
Right, thanks for attending. And just one last promotion for our Bulgaria trip. The trip costs $2,950, which, if you're interested in study abroad and you look at other programs that other USG institutions offer, it's at least 40% less than any other program that you'd be interested in to Europe. And so we understand that the big constraint for GSW students or students in general is money. So that's the reason why we try to keep the trip affordable. And as Ms. Dolan said, sometimes you have to pay a little bit of money to experience the world, and this is a very little amount of money that we're asking. And that includes the airplane fare and breakfast and room and travel and just a little bit of out-of-pocket expenses on your part. That's a question. I mean, how much should you bring with you on one of these trips? And here you have the individuals that can answer that. How much did you folks bring with you? How much? $400 for like knickknacks and souvenirs and stuff. Eastern Europe is totally undiscovered. It's something that's totally off the beaten track. People don't go to Bulgaria, they don't go to Romania, they go to Greece and France and Spain. So if you'd like to discover a little bit of the world that's totally untrodden, Bulgaria would be an ideal place. Yes, Dr. Spear. Financial aid will pay for the tuition costs, so students can take 1 or 2 courses and you pay GSW for that tuition, and if you're getting financial aid, that will help you pay for tuition. Yeah, thank you for the question. Anything else?
We thank the students participating.
Yeah, we'll give them one huge, magnificent round of applause here right at the end, but no other questions. Pardon? Refreshments. Refreshments are on the outside there. And for my students, the sign-up sheet is for macro, it's over here, and for micro, it'll be in the middle. Question?
Yes, say you wanted to go somewhere where it's not sponsored yet at the school, is there a way that you could get a trip sponsored by the school to that particular place?
If you're interested in going some other place, there are programs that are offered by USG institution, and as a student at a USG institution, you can go on those programs. You just have to register as a transient student, and here at GSW, that's $25 and you fill out a form. And so anybody can come on this Bulgaria trip. If you have friends at other USG institutions and you'd like to go with a friend, they can come along and it's just another $25. It's just an administrative formality. And if you're interested, we now have a director of international programs, and she has all kinds of literature about programs all over the world. So I recommend that you talk to Dr. Spear. She's in the ACE building, the old nursing building, in room 101. She has a very nice little office. She can sit down and talk to you about all the programs that are available. And if worse comes to worse, you can come and see me, and I'll talk to you about international programs. Anything else? Okay, so one last magnificent round of applause for our 8 students. Thanks for coming.